Hi, and welcome. My name is Jessica. I am taking you guys along for this life of wanting to become all things real estate, and that's quite a broad statement, so let me specify that for you. So, back in August of 2022, yes, we're in 23. Wow. I quit my full-time job as an accountant at a real estate company to become a full-time real estate agent. I am an investor, so I own a rental property, and that's a lot of fun. Still trying to acquire, but I am learning that becoming a full-time successful real estate agent is tough. There's a lot to freaking learn, and nah, you don't learn that in the school. So if you are someone who is thinking about getting a real estate license, maybe you'll stick around and let's see if the things I put into play work out. So I actually got my license back in 2018. So I still had a full-time job, and I honestly got it because I wanted to use it just to acquire more properties and get access to the local MLS. You don't really need a license to buy real estate, but it was something that I wanted to do. I found it interesting. And after I got my property, I kind of wanted to give it a try. But I was going into it part-time. And a lot of people will tell you that, it really isn't something that, I don't want to say it isn't something you can't do part-time, but more so that, if you really want to scale to replace, let's say, your 9 to 5 income, it's possible. I do know people who have done it, but it's not easy. For me in particular, I had a demanding job. I was an accountant, and I very often found myself working late. After the pandemic, I would work on the weekends. I'm a salaried employee, so it's not like, I got paid overtime, but I am someone who cares about the work that I deliver. So for me, it was, work would pile up or something would come across my desk, and just to kind of lessen the workload for the week, if I had like some deadline or something, I would just hop on and work on the weekends. But, in hindsight, it was a bit to my detriment because, I wasn't focusing on building something for myself. So, I ended up getting pregnant in 2020, actually. So yes, I have a pandemic baby. So in 2020, I joined a particular real estate company. So I was with a different one, and I wasn't really using my license again. And I think it's mostly because I was part-time. I couldn't find my way in. And for people that, for us that were W-2 employees, honestly, it's tough because you're comfortable getting that paycheck. It's coming. And as a real estate agent, you work on commission. So the comfort side of it, I feel, made things a tad bit harder for me. Again, because, I had a good paying job. So the motivation just wasn't there. Motivation came after the pandemic. And really after having my baby and going on maternity leave in 2021, that I started to see things from a different perspective. It's funny because a lot of people say, you know, when you have a baby, like your outlook on life really changes, and I think it's true. In the pandemic, we all became remote workers, and now we were end of 2021, and my boss at the time gave me an ultimatum where I had to make a decision on whether or not I wanted to be a test animal, to not use another word. With that, the pressure was on because they wanted everyone to start coming back to the office. Just putting things into perspective, like my travel time to work, my travel time back home, and then I have to cook. And I'm just like, how much time am I gonna have to spend away from my baby? You know, when I'm used to being with him all day, every day. If, like, to me, it's just no debate on that. So there were other reasons why I also quit that I don't want to kind of get into here. But yeah, I decided to put in notice. I ended up giving them 3 months because I had a lot of responsibilities, and I knew that it was going to be hard or take some time to find someone to really replace me and for me to train and kind of move on, where I didn't feel like I was kind of leaving them hanging. I do not believe in burning bridges. You never know where you're going to be in life, so that's just my approach to things. In my head, I could not go back. I could not go back to staring at four walls. I felt confined. Like, it was starting to get there when I started learning about real estate and investing. You know, I started attending real estate seminars, motivational seminars. Like, for me, it was, I knew and I know that I'm destined for a lot more. I want more. I crave more. Like, it's like this hunger. That's the only way I can find to really explain it. But it was just like, no, like I was, to me, it's like, I cannot be tamed. No effing way. Like, this is not gonna happen. So that was quite freeing afterwards. After that, I'm like, okay, I need to get serious, yada, yada, yada. You know, so I started kind of doing things slow. I was kind of taking my time with things, learning different things. And one of the biggest obstacles I've had, and it's also why I'm kind of starting this channel, I'm actually really like apprehensive, or I don't want to use the word scared because I don't want to refer to it as that, but you know, it's something new being in front of a camera. So it just always like, you know, anytime like I would do something one time, like even on my social media, you know, I'm not like super active like that where I'm like posting everything about me. I love my privacy. So I have to find a balance doing all of this, but I still envision myself, like I dream about this, just being in front of the camera and taking people along for the ride, like educating people. When I know something, information, I love to share it. And especially if like when I overhear or, you know, someone asks me a question, like I get super excited when I know of a topic, and, you know, real estate is something that I'm really, really passionate about. So I love talking about it. Anytime anyone wants to talk to me about it, like, hello, hi, I'm here. Let's go. Let's talk about this. Real estate and personal finance are two of the things that like I just love to talk about. More recently, it's been like crypto and how really the blockchain, I should say, and how the blockchain is evolving the real estate market. That is like super interesting, but we can get into that another time. Anyways, so I really feel like I went full force, like 100% commitment like early December, where I was starting to get more active on my social media. I'm like, okay, I really need to get active on my social media. I gotta start posting things, like creating posts that like explain certain like real estate terms, or I actually even started talking about my investment property, different things that I was going through. At the time I was going through like this plumbing situation, but anyways, I was just being more open about those things to kind of like start showing people who I am and what I'm about. And also I feel like it shows a little bit of credibility that I know and kind of understand the real estate market. Also, I'm not just trying to sell you real estate, I'm in it also. So that was a big part of it. And I don't know, the brokerage that I was with, I got on with them August 2020. It is a boutique brokerage, which I did like a lot. And the managing broker, I loved his energy. And I'm someone that feeds off of that, especially if like, I love words of affirmation. So for me, like that just keeps me going. Like I like to hear that. And I think that also comes from being like a W-2 employee. Like you want to know that you're doing your work right. And as a person in business for yourself, who says that to you? Yourself? But what if it's wrong? Like those are things that go through my mind. So anyways, I like those things. And you know, things were really, really picking up for me when I joined him. And shortly after, I got pregnant. And then things just really died down for me, in the sense like, listen, I know there are women out there that work 40 hours a week, 7 days a week sometimes, or 5, 6, 7 days a week. I take my hat off to you, okay? I was tired. That was not happening. Keep in mind that technically I was already doing that, because I was still an accountant working more than 40 hours a week. So for me, it was, when I finished my work, all I wanted to do was sleep. Don't talk to me about anything else. Sorry. But anyways, so now let's fast forward. And I know I'm jumping kind of back and forth, but I hope you guys can keep up with me. So fast forward to now, me quitting my job and going full force on this. And now I'm, you know, taking advantage of marketing and prospecting. You know, I was trying to keep my head up and kind of trusting the process. You know, I like to be different. So with any brokerage, you're going to have a situation where, you know, you have to stick to their marketing, right? For example, if the colors of the company is red, white, and blue, you need to stay within those colors. I personally felt like it was a bit too rigid when it came to that, which is okay if there was something else to replace it. So, you know, I didn't have any listings. So what was offered to me was only really marketing a property that you have listed. Okay, but I want to market myself. So what do you have for that? And you know, I designed things myself, submitted it to them, and it was just like, unless like it was in an envelope and you couldn't see it, like it just wasn't approved. And again, it's his company. And if it's not approved, it's unapproved. However, what's the alternative then? Like, how many alternatives do I have? And that's where I kind of started hitting a snag, where I felt like there are things missing here, and I feel like I'm trying to build this business, and I honestly feel like I'm alone. Again, I'm not complaining about any of this. I'm just kind of sharing my experience, because maybe this is something that you guys are going through. And you know, I don't want you to feel alone. I really, like, I went on YouTube and tried to search what other agents are doing, like new agents and things like that, and there was just no one I could really relate to, or any that kind of shared things. And that's where I want to get to. where I'm actually sharing things that I'm doing and seeing if they work, you know? So, my cousin, going back to the story, one of my cousins is part of EXP Realty. And this particular cousin, I still say to this day, like, I am where I am, not necessarily because of her, but really she kind of opened my eyes to real estate. I had kind of discussed with her some of the struggles that I was having. So she's like, you know, why don't you join EXP? She's like, come to my house. I'm going to call my mentor. She's like, because I'm in a mentorship program. Speak to my mentor and you can kind of get an idea of like how the program works and how the company is. And, you know, maybe it can work out for you. Because honestly, guys, I reached the point. So I'm pretty much living off of my savings. And I live in New York. It ain't cheap, okay? I don't have food stamps. I don't have any of that. I had unemployment, but that only lasts so long, you know? So everything that I have is literally from my savings account. So I went to that meeting and I loved what I heard. And just to kind of also put it in there was someone else that I had also spoken to, and he was building a team, but he was building it at Keller Williams. So I kind of like was trying to decide which way do I want to go. Do I want to join a team that's kind of someone that's going to bring me leads and give me an opportunity to make money? Because I didn't really feel like that's what was happening in the other place. I felt like I had to outsource a lot of things. And again, it just didn't feel like there was a clear path of success, I guess. And, you know, really thinking about it in this business, you have to kind of define what that success is, but it's still nice to have resources. And that's really what I'm after. Resources and maybe even someone that I can lean on and kind of guide me through things. So I first need to tell you about the meeting I had with the guy, a friend of mine who was kind of like get me to join his team. And the reason I didn't go with him was because he was building the team from the ground up. So for me, it felt like, well, I feel like I'm going to be entering the same situation, right? I went for a boutique brokerage as a new agent. He's just now starting to build this team. I didn't want to be in that same situation. I wanted to build my business and I wanted to be in a place where I had the resources to do that. Like I don't want to build something for someone else anymore. It's about me. Like me. That's it. So yeah, with EXP, I'm officially with them as of yesterday. Today is the 14th. Yes, April 14th today is. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna upload this video. But yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride. I'm gonna end this video here. My goal for this channel, again, is gonna be to show you guys what I'm doing to build my business and hopefully help someone get clarity for what they want, you know? And I feel like these steps that I have been taking are getting me closer to knowing exactly what I need to do and what I have to put in place to have a successful real estate business. So I hope you guys stick along with me. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you know when I post a video, because hopefully it's things that are current and you know, maybe you can implement it yourself if it's interesting. but I don't know what the time frame is. Some of the things that I have done in the past are kind of like you have to do it in a specific time frame. But yeah, stick around. Bye, guys.